Hello friends, this is Priyanka. Today we are going to solve a problem on isometric projection. So let us first observe what is the given orthographic projection. So if we observe here, the front view and side view is given. So there are two sides, that is the right hand side and left hand side. So if we observe, the front view given is on the left hand side. So we have to plot here in the isometric projection, front view is on the right hand side. So how to plot? So let us first construct here the basic line that will be horizontal, and on this we have to select one point, and from that point we have to select the 3 points at different angles. So if we plot here the point, and here will be the point we have to select, that is from the right hand side is at 30-degree angle, from the left hand side is at the 30-degree angle, and here is the point that is at 90-degree angle. Now we have to draw the 3 lines passing through the selected line. So this is the first line, second line and third line. Now we have to plot the front view is on the right hand side of this isometric projection. So because of this vertical line, there are two parts. This is the right hand side and this is the left hand side. So we have to plot the front view here. So what front view indicates? Front view indicates the total length and total height. So if we observe this on the horizontal line, here will be total length, on this vertical line there will be total height. So what is the total length? That is 40 plus 20 plus 20. That means length is equal to 80 millimeter. And what is the total height? So in front view the total height is not given, so we will move for the side view. So for in the side view it is given that 50 plus 20, that is 70 millimeter. Now these dimensions are very small, so we will use here the scale 1:3. That means 1 millimeter in the orthographic projection, which is equal to 3 millimeter in this isometric projection. So what is the total length? That is 80 into 3, that is 240 millimeter. Height 70 into 3, that is 210 millimeter, and width 60 into 3, that is 180 millimeter. So now let us first plot the front view. So here is the total length and here is the total height. So height we have to select the point 210 millimeter. So with the help of scale on this vertical line, select the point at 210 millimeter, and here the length that is equal to 240 millimeter, we have to select the point, and from this point again draw a vertical line which indicates the height, that is 210 millimeter. Now we will move for the side view. So what side view indicates? What is the total width and what is the total height? So what is the total width here? That is 60 millimeter. So again at 60 millimeter means 60 into 3, that is 180 millimeter, we have to select the point, and from this point draw a vertical line which is equal to 210 millimeter. So if we select these 3 lines, that is 1, 2, 3, there are 3 points, we have to just join these 3 points, and again from this point we have to draw a line parallel to this line, that will indicates the width. So if we draw the line parallel to this, we have to select the dimension equal to this, that is 180 millimeter, and mark here one point, and we have to join these 2 points. So there is the block. So what about this block? So now this line, that is this inclined line on the right hand side, indicates the length, that is this is the first line, this is the second line, and this is the third line. So these 3 lines are parallel to each other and indicates the length in the dimension. Now in the same way, these 3 vertical lines that are parallel to each other and indicates the height. In the same way, this is the 3 lines, that is first, second and third. These 3 lines are parallel to each other and indicates the width. Now we will move for the front view. So remember that the projection line should be faint, and for that we have to use the 2H lead pencil, and construction line should be dark, and for that we have to use the H lead pencil. Now we will first draw the front view. So if we observe on the front view, there is the construction at the base. So this base height is 20 millimeter. So here is the construction of the base at some height. So these 3 lines indicates the height, so we will select that distance, that is 20 into 3, that means 60 millimeter. I will mark here the 3 points. So these are the 3 points. Now just join these 3 points. So this will be our base. So these are the projections. So use the faint pencil. Then again there is at some length, that is 20 millimeter length is given, there is the construction at the top. So we have to use the 20 millimeter. So on the length side, so this line indicates the length. So what every lines in the front view indicates the, every horizontal line in the front view indicates the length, and every vertical line in the front view indicates the height. So here, and these 3 lines indicates the length. So here at the top we have to select the length is equal to 20 millimeter. That means 20 into 3, that is 60 millimeter. So here also we have to use 20 into 3, that is 60 millimeter, and here on the baseline also 20 into 3, that is 60 millimeter, because these 2 lines are parallel. So this line also indicates the length. Now I will join these selected points. So just join. Now this joining is getting completed. Now again we will move for the next. So if we observe, we will move for the side view. So side view, horizontal line indicates the width and vertical line indicates the height. So there is the block at the middle. So how to draw this block? The block is given, that is 30 by 30. That is the each side is 30 millimeter. So along the width, the block is placed in middle, and along the height also the block is placed in middle. So how to draw? So here after the construction of base, the remaining height is 50 millimeter. So from that 50 millimeter we have to put the block of square 30 millimeter. That means 50 minus 30. So what is the remaining distance? 20 millimeter. So we have to keep the at the top and at the bottom same distance. That means we have to keep 10 millimeter same distance. So 10 into 3, our scale is 1:3, that is 30 millimeter at the top, and here at the bottom also we have to keep here the 30 millimeter. In the same way, this line is also represents height. So here also I will mark the point. Then what about the length? So if we observe, what is the that is the width. So what is the width here? That is 60 millimeter. Now throughout this width of 60 millimeter, our block is 30 millimeter placed in middle. So here 60 minus 30, that is 30. So we have to divide on both sides 15 and 15. So here at this side there is 15 millimeter distance, that is 15 into 3, that is 45. So mark here the point at 45, and here also mark the point at 45 millimeter. Now this line also indicates the width, so we have to mark here at 45 millimeter, and here also we have to mark at 45 millimeter. Now from this selected point I will just join these selected points. Now these are the projection lines. So join these lines with the help of faint lines. Now this is the block, that is 30 by 30. So here we have to, now I will show here, these are the point of intersection. So we have to just join this point of intersection. Now this block is getting completed. So here we have to construct this. So we have to project this block on this base. So here is the construction part. So on this construction part there is the block. So how to plot this? So we have to just project. Now from this point we have to draw the parallel lines. So this is on this face, that is here is the construction, but we have to plot, that is how much distance is there. So we have to measure this remaining distance. So what is that remaining distance? Where is the start point of the block? So on this construction there is the start point that is shown in the front view. So if we observe at after this 20 millimeter there is the start point. So what is the total length? Length is 240. Minus 20 means we have to take 20 into 3, that is 60. So what is this distance? that is 180 millimeter. So this distance is 180 millimeter. So we have to project all the points at 180 millimeter. So how to project? So again we have to take the lines parallel to this line. So we have to project this block along the length, because along the length we have to project here on the back side, because this is the front side and on the back side. So we will now project this. So we have to should be taken that we have to take the projections for the lines should be parallel to each other. Now we have to select a distance of 180 millimeter. So here 180 millimeter we will select a point. So now we will select the point at 180 millimeter from this line. So these are the selected points. So here 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we join this point, then we will get the block that is 180 millimeter on the back side. So I will join these points. So this is the block and that is on the base. So this is getting completed. Now if we observe again, there is the small gap. Now this small gap is throughout the length, but it can be shown only on the side view, because along this width there is the gap. So what is the total width for this gap? So total width is 30 millimeter. Now this total distance is 60. So now we have to make the calculation. 60 minus 30. So here is the 30 millimeter. That means 15 millimeter on both sides. So here we have already selected the 2 points. So this is the total width of the gap. Now what is the total height? So total height is shown for that gap is 10 millimeter. So along this height we have to select the point that is at 10 millimeter. 10 into 3, that is 30 millimeter. So select here the point that is 30 millimeter, and now we will join these points. So this is the gap, and that will carry throughout the length. So because here it is shown in the front view, the projection is shown by the dotted lines. So here we have to show this. So how to show this? Because here is the construction for the 20 millimeter height. So on this construction area for this whole length, the gap is there. Now we have to also take the projection of this block. So if we observe what is the length of this block projection, so it is given after this 20 millimeter construction, there is the projection for the 40 millimeter length. Now I will select again the points, that is for 40 millimeter. So 40 into 3, that is 120 millimeter. So here are the points. Now just join these points. Now we have to highlight this, because up to this point only there is the construction of the block is getting extended. Now we will highlight what is the construction area. So if we observe the front view, first we will highlight the base. So here is the base. Up to this point we will mark here with the help of the dark marker. Now here is also the construction, because in the front we can clearly see this is the construction part. So we have to highlight this. Now if we observe, there is the extension of that square. So this extension that is up to at 40 millimeter, and here is the start at base. So now we have to just highlight where is that extension. So up to that extension only we have to highlight. Now we have to just complete the projection of base. So here we have to complete it. So how to complete it? So take the lines parallel to this, and here is the construction. So up to that construction we have to complete this. Now from this point to up to the end we have to also complete here. So from this line we have to take here. So if we observe, this is the base and here is the extension of the block. Now here is also the gap which we have to show. So here is the gap. So there is not necessary these lines. So in this way the projection is getting completed. Now how to give the dimensions? So remember that we have to draw, if we have to draw the show the dimension for the height, then take the line parallel to the height. So here for this vertical line we have to draw vertical line, and that is along this length. So here we have to take here in this direction only we have to show the dimension. So there should not be straight lines. There should be the lines in the direction of this length. In the same way, now here is the width line. So here we have to take the lines in the direction of this. So here we have to mark the lines, and here we have to show the dimension in the direction or parallel. These lines should be parallel to each other. So for height you can draw here the straight vertical line, but it is along the width. So here for the mark we have to use the distance. That is, what is the distance here? That is in between these two lines. So this line is inclined at 30 degrees. So here we have to draw the line inclined at 30 degree, and this line is also inclined at 30 degrees. So this is the length. That is, this is the dimension that we have to show. Here is also we have to show the dimension. So here the width is shown. So we have to draw the line parallel to width only, and we have to show the dimension in this direction. So this that is the isometric projection from the given orthographic projection is getting completed.